Welcome to today's coaching video, gentlemen. Today, we are going to be reacting to a hilarious hit piece that was done on the Red Pill community. Yes, you and I. The Red Pill community by none other than CNN, the least trusted name in news. So they are going to be diving into the Red Pill community and why it's dangerous for men and why it's dangerous for society and why you should avoid it at all costs. So without further ado, let's jump into this. You are going to love this. If you have not seen this hit piece yet, it was done a few years ago, but I haven't seen a whole lot of Red Pill content creators cover it. So I'm going to dive in and dismantle their story here. So let's start, shall we? You gotta love this. They have a warning label before they start teaching you about the Red Pill. The following video contains explicit language and content that some viewers may find extremely offensive or disturbing. So already starting with this warning label here to just make sure they paint the picture, right? They paint the Red Pill community in the light that they want to paint it. These dangerous extremists, these domestic terrorists who are just spreading the truth to men and want men to wake up to women's shenanigans and not accept women with high body counts that sleep around, that don't want to be traditional, that don't want to act like housewives but want a traditional man. No, kid, this might be disturbing. Let's jump in. You gotta love the music too. I mean, they are just completely setting the mood. Oh, so it already starts with this dude who's like sitting here in the dark, and apparently he is going to tell his story about how he found the Red Pill. I mean, anybody with a hint of common sense has got to see through this. We're gonna have a lot to talk about here, but let's go ahead and listen, shall we?
For the most part, she was nice and didn't quite work out. I had, blamed myself. I'd simultaneously blamed her. And
why? I mean, really? I mean, why do they have to play this? Why is this guy hiding his identity? Like he just drove a school bus full of kids off a cliff or something. Why is this guy needing to hide from the fact that he, at one point, joined the Red Pill community, which I don't believe, by the way, but I'll get more into that in a second.
I couldn't get any guidance from my friends or my family about this. And I Googled, how do I get my girlfriend back? I was just, that distraught.
He was a regular guy with some relationship issues, but he entered a place, a frame of mind. He rejected what he was told about society.
A lot of, cults, they look for people who are in transitional periods of their lives. As soon as they see their vulnerability, they take
cult? Did he just say cult? People...
A lot of, cults, they look for people...
Alright, so already they're trying to paint this narrative that the Red Pill community is a cult. Okay, any of you guys who've been part of the Red Pill community long enough know that all we do here is deprogram you from the lies that you've learned from the mainstream, the establishment, and the Matrix your entire life. All we do here is spread truth, right? That's all we do. So if, they want to paint people who tell the truth as cults, and this is one thing, too, I can't stand about, the Matrix, the left, the establishment, the woke mob, the blue pillars out there. They all essentially accuse you of what they themselves are actually doing, and many of them are aware they're doing this, but for them it's more about spreading their narrative and their ideologies and making sure you just accept it, right, rather than just letting people be free, because that's what the Red Pill is about, is just letting people be free. So you gotta love the language here.
We're in transitional periods of their lives. As soon as they see their vulnerability, they take it.
A search for dating advice can spiral into political radicalization. Was it just that you felt lonely or misunderstood?
Combination of both. That was essentially like my gateway drug into the whole concept that feminism was my enemy.
It is your enemy, clown. Feminism is your enemy. It's everybody's enemy. So the fact that they're already trying to say, like, oh, feminism is not your enemy, but that's what these guys are teaching you. Feminism is everybody's enemy. Man, woman. The statistics will prove that. Women are unhappier more today than they've ever been in the history of humanity, right? And it all started in the 60s when feminism started, and they called it women's lib back then. If you guys don't know. Women's liberation, the sexual freedom movement, where they wanted women to cut those balls and chains of marriage and the happy days and all this, and we want to just let women be free to do whatever they want, sleep around with whoever they want, and you don't need to be in a marriage. And you've seen women's happiness decline more and more and more. These are statistics. Okay, so yes, feminism is the enemy. I mean, the amount of boys being raised in single mother households, it's astonishing, right? The facts don't lie. But this is what I can't stand about the blue pill, is because they do this, right? They just say stuff like this. They go, oh, they think feminism's the enemy, and these people are evil and they're wicked. It's like, okay, elaborate, explain why you think they're evil and wicked. And they can't. They're like, and you'll see just anybody on YouTube who like interviews like a feminist, the woke mafia, a liberal, a blue pillar. Anybody like that, any of those interviews, you see where they hold their feet to the fire when they go, this person's racist. It's like, okay, give me examples. I don't want to do this interview. Anytime they hold their feet to the fire and go, hey, give me examples, they can't do it. But when you go to the red pill community and you go, hey, give me examples, we're like, oh yeah, there's this fact, there's this study, there's this research, there's this data. We point to a number of things that you can easily go research yourself and find the truth, which also the Matrix doesn't want you to find, right? They are trying to shut down the truth. And they're telling you, don't do your own research. And oh my God, you're going to be radicalized if you do your own research. It just really annoys me how they project like this. But let's go on. I'll stop talking.
Oh, what happened to him?
Our world has become a chat room. I think in many ways we have become our avatars. We have become offline the people that we are online.
The definition of truth is shifting. The internet is a
This is so dramatic. Why is she playing musical chairs? Like one second she was here, then she's up there, then she's over here. They are really heavily trying to dramatize this, and and after we're done reacting to this hit piece by CNN, by the way, we are going to go in the comments and we're going to read what people have to say about this for themselves. I am shocked they did not turn off the comments, by the way, but we'll get into it after we're done reacting to this hit piece. But you got to love the dramatization and this stuff, CNN, you guys are just pathetic. It doesn't work on people anymore. Your lies they just don't work. There's a reason why CNN's ratings are plummeting. We could take a look real quick ourselves. You could see here CNN's their profits have been slumping for years. Their ratings are totally plummeting. They call themselves the most trusted name in news. No, the most trusted name right now is Fox News, their arch enemy, right? And Tucker Carlson has the #1 program, and even he's not perfect, but I mean, he, for the most part is trying to be a little honest. I mean, CNN's not even trying. Nobody trusts them anymore. This is why they call them fake news, and they continue to dole out this propaganda, these hit pieces that people are just laughing their asses off now. It's so sad. They can't see that, how ridiculous they look. I mean, they get caught constantly staging events too. I mean, they stage. Where was this one? There was one where CNN was caught staging a protest in London, as you can see over here. I mean, they're literally just. They're telling these protesters where to stand. You can see the newscaster right here. Let me blow this up. This is CNN. They're about to do a broadcast over here. And she is essentially telling these people where to stand with their signs. Got a little child here. Lady has her coffee here like she's going to work. Oh yeah, hold that sign up so we can control the narrative. We can control your thoughts. We can control which way you vote, your political ideology. This is what not only CNN, but MSNBC and most of the mainstream media does. Okay, do not be fooled. If you're still watching news stations like CNN, I can't help you. These are the same people that are still wearing masks alone in their car. You know, after a year of COVID rates dropping. But you could see this reporter here for CNN telling everyone to stand. She's like a friggin' Hollywood director telling people, and she's like looking at the shot. Okay, this looks like the shot we want to present. Why can't you just present the news? Why can't you be like John Stossel? He's the last journalist I really actually respect. But here she goes. She's getting her microphone ready to present this fake ass news. How come they never fact check this? Yep. Now for the fake news live broadcast. Here you go.
Muslim mums. There's a little fella here who's bought a little sign, and this is in commemoration. You can see his little sign.
Yep.
To the heroes of London. There are flowers on the street.
They
here.
set this up.
Ladies with hashtag turn to love. Hashtag ISIS equals enemies of Islam. Hashtag ISIS will lose. Hashtag turn to London. And I think
they do this all the time.
And a scene we should sit on just for you viewers to understand exactly how people feel here on the streets of London.
Yeah, so I mean that's the CNN state. They do this all the time, guys. I mean this is they just don't get caught. They don't get caught all the time, but this is one of the times they did get busted. There was another one where they recently, I think they staged a migrant crossing the Rio Grande. There's another one where they staged this weatherman. This one's actually kind of funny. Let's watch this real quick. So this is a CNN weatherman pretending that he is freaking like just out here in this crazy ass weather reporting dangerously, and then some people are going to stroll by like it's nothing. So look at him dramatizing this like the weather's so bad. But then you see these two dudes wearing shorts and sneakers just casually strolling by while this guy who's like supposedly the CNN weatherman is struggling. Look at the people behind him. What a clown, man. Yes. There you go, man. There's your most trusted name in news, CNN. But let's get back to the program, shall we? I just wanted to let you know what CNN is about and that their profits are plummeting for a reason. Okay, back to this chick playing musical chairs, and you gotta love too how they do this news story in the pitch black dark. It's like, really, you can't do it like during the day like I'm sitting here right now. I mean, you can't do it like, obviously they don't want to do it on the beach. They don't want to do it somewhere nice or, where there's a lot of light. No, they got to do it in the dark because this shows that these guys are these creepy little men in the dark and radicalizing people into cults of the truth. But let's watch her play musical chairs here.
The internet is a gateway that allows us to choose which reality we want to live in.
There was a sense of community, a sense of brotherhood. It fed into that loathing, that hate, that anger, and that depression.
Okay, what he's talking about here, that hate, that anger, that depression, that is called red pill rage. We always talk about that in the red pill community. We always talk about how you have to get, it's like crossing a river, right? Or crossing a lake. You have to cross the lake into just acceptance. And really that anger that you're feeling is really self-directed. You're angry at yourself. You're angry at society for lying to you, right? But I mean, and we always say you can't really blame society because they've been fooled also. They've been deceived, right? So it's like they're just spreading the deceptions that they're getting from places like CNN, right? From the mainstream news, from the establishment. That's all they're doing. And so you can't hold down that anger, but we teach you how to get over that red pill rage and just come into a place of acceptance. And once you do, you're actually in a much better place. You understand the truth. Doesn't mean you're angry at anybody or angry at women. You understand what the truth is. You understand what is versus what you want it to be, especially in relationships. As a professional pickup artist, I teach guys all the time. So, and I do teach from a red pill perspective. So guys do go through that red pill rage, or they're shocked, or they're like, ugh, or some guys are just like, oh, I figured it was like that all along, whatever, women are who they are, or people are who they are, and I'm just going to accept people who they are. All right.
Frustration.
Internet memes break through the screen.
They draw people in with irreverence and irony, and a lot of people will start being ironically racist before they start being really racist.
That is a lie. Of course, it's CNN, it's the establishment. Anything that you do that does not frickin' vote liberal or vote Democrat, anything that you do that doesn't toe their ideology or dragging kids to queer shows, yeah, you're racist. Everything's racist. I mean, these days even math is racist. SATs are racist. Everything is freaking racist these days. Give me a break. But you guys who are part of the red pill community, you tell me how much racism you see. No, we accept everybody. Just anybody who wants to hear the truth. Doesn't matter what skin color you are, what ethnicity you are, what socioeconomic background you came from. Whether you're, we've had guys who grew up in wealthy homes. We've got guys who grew up homeless or broke. We've got all of it. We've got literally every nationality part of the red pill community, because we don't care about all that stuff. All we care about is truth. Whereas them, this is why I say they do a lot of self-projecting. The blue pill, the Matrix, CNN, they are the one who are racist, because they're the ones who are constantly spreading this division. Like, oh, look at all these black people getting shot, and showing these broadcasts, these stories of black guys getting shot by cops, but only taking out snippets and not showing you the full clip, completely taking people's words out of context, what somebody said that had nothing to do with that. They're the ones who are constantly spreading that, where, in the red pill, that's the last thing we care about. That's the last thing we care about. All we care about is the truth. That's it. Period. But they can't understand that, because that is what they are doing.
This is a story of two realities.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to.
Great clip.
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Let's go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Blue pill or red pill? It's a question made famous
Red,
in the 90s
baby.
movie, The Matrix. And it's never been more relevant. What does it mean to swallow the red pill?
You pretty much accept this quote-unquote truth. That point of view was that women are having too much power.
True.
Now the phrase has
True.
been co-opted by communities online. Just
Absolutely true so far.
swallow the red pill is to accept that everything you've been told about society.
Why on earth are they dramatizing this so much? It's like they got you can tell they have the filter on here. They've got a dark filter on this otherwise sunny day in Southern California. She's walking in slow motion. Give me a break. This is what I'm talking about, CNN. You guys are just... You have, no self-awareness at this point. I've always said the left is a woman. The left is a narcissist. The left is just... look. They can't even see, how ridiculous they look. And again, we will go into the comments after this. And you'll see for yourself what actual people have to say.
About gender, race, politics is a lie.
You hear that term
True.
used in a lot of different communities on the far right, and basically it means being awakened to the truth of the way that reality really is.
Okay, you gotta love her smugness, her snarkiness here. This is just so common of, again, people who are, still plugged into the Matrix. They're just full of their own arrogance, and that's one thing about coming to the red pill community is you do humble yourself. You get over your, any arrogance that you have, like this lady does. but you could tell in her snarkiness here. She's like, these guys, they say everything they've been taught. It was a lie. It was a lie. Can you believe that? They think that everything they were taught was a lie. It was, biatch. What are you talking about? It was.
It's actually men who are at a disadvantage, and they need to do whatever is in their control to put the women back in their place.
Becca Lewis is a reason.
No, it's not about putting women back in their place. It's about just making your own choices as a dude and going your own way, right? Much like what MGTOW often says. I mean, that's all it's about. And me as a professional pickup artist, I mean, I still date women. I've been in a relationship with the same girl for a few years now. I had a 6-girl dating rotation before her. I still coach guys. I still take guys out to do cold approach who are very red pill now, and I teach from a red pill perspective. And I don't teach them to put women in their place. I just teach them, hey, those women who don't want to, be submissive and want to be feminist and want to act masculine and want to chase careers, don't bother with them. Okay, because you're going to bring chaos into your life. These chicks are one big headache. They're there's a reason we call them the damaged goods on this channel. They're the chicks who didn't get married in their 20s. They rode the freaking carousel. Now they're in their 30s and they're scrambling to find a man while still wanting to sleep around with all these chads. I mean, this is just not only statistically true, but observationally true. You can just look out into the world and see the truth. What this chick wanted you to do, as somebody who is defending who's obviously still plugged into the matrix, is she wants you to ignore reality. And that's what the left mostly wants you to do. The woke mafia, the establishment, CNN. They want you to ignore reality and just trust them. Just trust us. Okay, you're not seeing this stuff. Women who sleep around are not whores. Women who chase their career are not damaged goods, mister. Even though they banged like 100 guys during their 20s. They're not damaged goods. That's not true. That's misogyny. That's racist. Do you understand that? That's what they want to do. They want you to accept their lies. That's all the left does. Daily, in and out, is spread lies, lies, lies. Just like they're doing here. They're trying to mix truths with lies, but they're trying to paint like the red pill community in this dark light as if it's something to be avoided.
Researcher at Data and Society. She's been studying these forums for years. Before taking the red pill became political, it was actually just about picking up women.
True.
You'll find people gravitating to communities like the pickup artist community.
Oh, yeah.
Where young men can get advice on how to attract young women. They're
right.
Really feeling lost and looking for advice or guidance or community.
I met up with a man who you could call an expert.
And I've always said, like, the most of the guys, over 90%, who find the red pill community or who come to me as a PUA and want to take classes or get in my mastery program, click that link below. Quick plug. Those guys are usually coming from a breakup where it wasn't them who dumped the girl. I mean, almost never is it the guy who dumped the girl and they're like, oh, let me go learn some pickup tactics. No. These guys are always coming from being dumped or being divorced, right? It was always them going through a harsh breakup with a woman they loved, they dedicated themselves to. I don't understand. I was such a nice guy. I bought her flowers. I showed up on time. I never forgot her birthdays or our anniversary. I always take her out to a fancy restaurant. Valentine's Day, I'd have like a bouquet of roses. Those guys, those nice guys who got kicked in the nuts because they bought into your lies, CNN, Blue Pill, Matrix, establishment, woke mob, the left, Democrats, you name it. You're all part of the same establishment now. Right? They bought into those lies, and now they're like, okay, enough of this. I'm a grown man. This has never worked for me. Let me go talk to some of these guys. And then they get the truth.
Red pillar. He's out of the community now, but he asked us to keep his identity a secret.
Dude, how many ex-red pillars do you know? Like, I was part of the red pill community. Now I'm no longer part of the red pill community. And then, now, not only that, but let me go to call up CNN and tell them my story. Bull jive. This is a bunch of bull right here. I really strongly believe that this guy is a plant from CNN, just based off of how many news stories that they are willing to stage, lie, spread falsehoods. Yeah, that's Cash snoring back there, by the way. My dog, my pug. I would put money on it that this guy was never part of the red pill community, that he himself is probably working the mailroom at CNN, and they're like, hey, have you ever done any acting? Have you ever done any acting, Daryl? You want to be in this? You want to be in this this little broadcast? We're doing the red pill. Just do a little research, find out what you can, and then we're gonna shoot this. And if we need to do any retakes, we'll do it. You know, it's gonna be very dramatic. It's gonna be a piece. It's gonna be your opportunity to move up in the company. I would not be surprised at all if they found out that this guy actually works for CNN. Not at all. But let's continue.
Let's call him Josh.
You know, as soon as I started to continuously not do so well with women, instead of thinking that it was me, I started to, in a way, you know, blame them. That's when I...
Well, okay. So, that is not something that we teach in as part of our community. Definitely not part of what I teach. What do I always teach you guys about blame? I always tell you to blame yourself first, right? Even the earliest pickup artists, we're talking about Neil Strauss, Mystery, they used to teach the same thing, that, hey guys, whatever she did, your ex did, that, you know, that cheated on you, whatever, blame yourself first. You could have done things differently. Even my ex from 2006, who was clearly at fault here, I still continue to blame myself first. I've often said, like, hey, I started going blue pill a little bit. I started, like, getting a little paranoid about losing relationships, so I rewarded her bad behavior. I didn't punish her, you know, when she did things wrong by, you know, just cutting her off or walking away or anything like that. And I paid the price. You know, our relationship didn't work. So I always teach you guys to blame yourself first. So this clown is already, I mean, that's just not part of our community. At least not mine.
First entered the world of the pickup artists.
He found them in online communities where men talked strategy, how to seduce women. They're coined red pill forums.
They were kind of speaking to a need that I felt was really not met at
True
certain
so
points
far.
in my life.
In these forums, hitting on women turns into a game. The premise: sex is ultimately about power and taking back control.
Which is a reactionary movement to the feminist movement. That reaction is that there is a group of rebellious women who are just, angry at men. They do recognize that, women have rights, but only in as much as, these are rights that, men have given.
True.
It wasn't just
That's
about
true.
misogyny. These forums became political.
I mean, yeah, I've often said, women would not have the rights they do. They wouldn't have feminism. They wouldn't have any of this stuff if it weren't for the pussies who gave them that power, right? Because, as I always say, if men just banded arms together, right now, and said, hey, no more of this, knock it off, ladies, it's over, they could not do a thing about it, could they? Because we are the most stronger, more dominant, more violent gender.
You can start to embody those more radical ideas based on the initial idea that men are actually the ones that are being mistreated in society. So once you start from that basis, it's really easy for it to snowball.
Sprinkled in between posts on women are hateful comments on topics like race and religion. At what point did this anti-feminist
Dude, they just flashed I can't believe they did this. They just flashed an image of Hitler. Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously, dude. This is like an all-time low even for CNN. I mean, everything that, again, does not agree with their ideology, especially politically, you're Hitler. Give me a break.
Eric, at what point did this turn political for you?
I just, really felt powerless because I felt that my opinions, my feelings, especially as a man, did not matter. Especially
No, they don't.
when there were people, getting more money than me, getting more girls than me, and I'm just like, what can I do to catch up? And I
Learn this stuff.
To my eternal embarrassment, radicalized by the right wing politically. Since I refused to listen to anyone else's point of view, I immediately took theirs because I believed that it was the right one.
It's interesting that you said radicalized. Was that a gateway to the alt-right?
To a degree, actually to a very large degree. They speak to these guys who believe that they're being, largely ignored, kind of being pushed out of the spotlight. as like, feminism has, kind of been on the rise for the past 50 years.
That's true, but I mean, the fact that he's equating it to being on the right, I could see where he's coming from, because it's very difficult, and many people in the red pill community have said this. It's like, it doesn't mean you have to support Trump or like Republicans or anything at all. I mean, personally, I don't even vote. I've always been in the center, and growing up, I was more center left. Definitely, I'm more center right these days, but I still try to be in the center, more of like an independent, free market capitalist. I'm just more for freedom, right? I just want people to have more freedom, and I want smaller government. That doesn't automatically mean you're a frickin' Republican, right-wing, alt-right-wing extremist. That's ridiculous. But that's what they want to conflate that with, right? So in the red pill community, they have often said, like, it's almost impossible to be, say, a left-winger and be red pill, because most of the ideas of the left wing contradict everything in the red pill, right? Because most left-wing ideologies are, again, feminism, gender ideology, gender pronouns, and it's essentially pushing this narrative that, is not good for society, but also this narrative that, they're also pushing single moms, right? The red pill is completely against single motherhood because it destroys society. So it's very difficult to be red pill and still hold on to your left-wing ideas, because they push the opposite of that. They push very blue pill ideas.
It kind of really speaks to fear. The alt-right, Gamergate, like a lot of the men's rights activists, they kind of not really calmed that fear, but in a way they kind of stoked that fire.
It starts to tie into a more broad idea that men are under threat from modern society.
They are.
They basically adopt the terminology of the left, saying that...
I don't know why she has this like constant snarky look on her face, even when she talks. I mean, and the thing I don't like about these type of hit pieces are they never talk about the other side. Like, yeah, let's answer some of these questions. If they are real journalists and they weren't just trying to do a hit piece, if they're real journalists like John Stossel, they would go to the other side and go, hey, well, why are they saying this? What is causing this? Obviously, there's a large group of men who are identifying with this community. Why is that? You can't just sit there and go, well, they think they've been lied to their whole lives. Yeah, they think that feminism's not good for them. Can you believe that? And then on to the next point, right? They never explain it. That's why I say, like, all you have to do, the left is a woman. All you have to do is close your eyes, cover your ears, and just watch what they do, right? And you'll see that they are hypocrites, liars, deceivers. It's so frustrating.
Men are an oppressed group. They're being put down by systematic feminism, and we need societal changes to help men.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
So how does a guy like Josh end up joining the men's rights movement, becoming a part of these so-called red pill forums?
He left your mailroom and you hired him?
I met up with Dr. Elias Abujadi, a psychiatrist who wrote a book called Virtue.
Why is that guy like in slow motion looking at the camera? He's like, I mean, it's almost like a movie. Well, this kind of is. This is like a movie. This is complete fiction.
The dangerous powers of the E-personality.
Ooh.
We don't go online to become more moderate. We go online to have our more extreme positions, our more extreme ideologies be confirmed and agreed upon. The more we do that, the more polarized we become as a society.
And increasingly, we're seeing some of that rhetoric play out offline. A neo-Nazi protest in Charlottesville.
Dude, really?
One leader, Christopher Cantwell, who gained notoriety in a Vice report.
Are they seriously conflating this with the red pill community?
In 2014.
Oh my gosh.
Cantwell via his website, but haven't heard back. An incident at that Charlottesville protest resulted in many injured and one person dead.
Many injured and one person dead. Can we compare that to the Antifa riots and the Buy Large Mansions riots? Those equated to, I believe it was up to 25 deaths, so 25 times more. Not to mention anywhere between $2 billion to $8 billion in property damage. Give me a break. Again, this is what I mean by unfair reporting. They're not being fair in their reporting. This is why nobody trusts CNN anymore. Only idiots.
We have become offline the people that we are online, meaning these narcissistic traits, this impulsivity, this aggression that we manifest so easily and so automatically on social media.
Yeah, mostly the woke mob. That is statistically true.
Well.
Even Jack Dorsey admitted that from Twitter.
In what sense?
There is something rewarding about acting disinhibited online because you feel like you're getting away with something that, you know, in the moment can feel good. But the more it happens, the more it gets normalized. So you do it once, you're more likely to do it
This
twice.
guy is just speaking in generalities, but they're trying to, I mean, he's not taking, doesn't sound like he's taking sides, but they're trying to conflate what he's saying to the red pill. He's just talking in general.
Red pill groups are scattered across the internet, but they were able to rally around a political mission in 2016.
So there are people that focus on men's rights. There are people that focus on issues of white Americans. There are trolls
Here we
who
go.
just want to trick people and elicit a response. Trump was a way that they could all come together and unite around a common goal.
That was kind of true.
The people know the truth.
What about Donald Trump was unifying for people who were so-called swallowed the red pill?
Well, I think they liked that he kind of barreled in and they thought he was really going to mess up the establishment because
Yeah, that's
as
true.
they're getting radicalized, they are trusting establishment media less and
Yep.
less. They're trusting education less and less.
Great
they
meme.
really liked that he represented this anti-establishment.
Yes.
We
Yes.
reached out to the White House and they declined to comment for the story.
That's absolutely true. When it came to Trump, I think that was probably one of the very first time in history where essentially many of our guys helped him get elected because so many people wanted somebody who was not a career politician with a freaking law degree from Harvard. We were tired of those, and now we have another career politician in the White House, and you see what's happening, right? Obviously, Trump was not perfect. There are a lot of things he did that I disagree with, but life was better under 2 years ago than it was now. If you don't believe me, just go get gas and tell me that. It wasn't better 2 years ago, or go buy your $40 chicken or your $10 Big Mac or whatever it is, right? Inflation is through the roof, crime is through the roof. More people are afraid to just walk to their car in the middle of the night. So yeah, things were definitely better 2 years ago when we had a non-establishment president, right? He was an entrepreneur. He didn't need to take that job. He didn't even want his presidential salary. He wanted to donate it, but the mainstream never reports on these things. Right? So, let's keep going.
He is essentially the alt-right president. He's the president belonging to that reactionary movement.
Yeah.
That was reactionary to, all the quote-unquote horrible things that Obama's done. And now you've got someone who is sympathetic instead of condemning to that cause.
Yeah.
But that movement no longer includes Josh. He metaphorically spit out the red pill.
I started realizing that
Sure.
they weren't just limiting their vitriol just to women. As soon as they started targeting, people of color and doing so...
That is a lie.
Rather harshly and egregiously.
Okay, now he's completely going into a lie here. This is why I say they always, whenever you're going against the mainstream, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be knitting, you could be sewing, and oh, you don't do it the way we do it, you're racist.
There's this very small voice in the back of my head saying, hey, idiot, wake up, they're talking about you.
Dude, really?
It's interesting you say, hey, they're talking about you.
Right.
I don't think our viewers know you're an African-American man.
Yes.
Here we go.
Apparently so.
So how did that play out in these forums?
There were a lot of other websites that would blame not only women but blaming black men like myself.
Was there ever a point where you heard some of this rhetoric and you believed it about yourself?
I did actually, to my internal shame
Bull
and embarrassment. And
crap.
I was like, okay, maybe to a degree they're right.
It sounds like at your low point as a black man, you were sympathetic to people being racist and saying things about
Dude.
you and your skin color.
I was.
Let's be honest here, man. There is a good portion of the red pill community that is made up of black guys. I mean, many of the guys in my program are black dudes, right? Many of my followers are black dudes. So this is why I say this guy is a plant for CNN, because he's just doing. It's almost like they have a script that they go through whenever somebody challenges, challenges their narrative. It's like immediately let's go this and then let's sprinkle in some racism that they're racist and let's just try to conflate it all and confuse people. But a good makeup of the red pill community are black dudes. Give me a break.
Anonymity bred extremism.
It's certainly made things a lot easier, having to, drive back into, the backwoods and like...
Dude, really? Now they're showing KKK images? Oh my gosh, dude. This is why they call you people fake news. Really? Okay, so now the red pill is full of guys with white hoods? You gotta be kidding. This is why nobody takes CNN seriously. You guys are, I just wish the right and just more of those politicians would have the balls to stand up and just start calling them out. And FYI, the KKK, if you don't know your history, was started by the Democrat Party. Was started by the left. It was ended by the right. They don't want to report on that, do they?
These forums. What was the most surprising thing you took out of your research? The empathy that I ended up feeling for the men at the very beginning of getting red pilled, because they are frustrated, they're often lonely, they're scared,
yep.
And they're trying to find their way in the world as well.
Yeah,
but
no help from you, lady.
These movements are taking them in a fundamentally dangerous direction.
Dangerous direction by giving them the truth? By telling them what the world is really about, what, their relationships, what happened. So you essentially, what they want to do is keep you in the lie. They want to keep you plugged into the matrix. That's all these blue pillars do at the end of the day. They want to keep you plugged in.
To say that you felt empathy for these people, because I think it's so easy, even as women, right, to kind of shake your head and think, really?
They start interacting with other people in this community, and if these people have already given them advice that they trust on dating and on women, then they're going to be more willing to listen to them on issues of race and sexuality.
As we dig
Dude, the only time race has ever come up with anybody that has been my student, for example, or anyone I've seen in the community, is when it's come to dating certain women, because guys have certain preferences. Some guys like white chicks, some guys like black chicks, some guys like Indian chicks, some guys like Asian chicks. That's the only time I've seen race come up, and that's just preference. Men are allowed to have their preference, so that's not being racist. That just means you have preference. If you don't want to date Asian chicks or white chicks or Indian chicks, that's your preference, okay? If you only want to date black chicks, that's your preference. Give me a break.
To our own realities. Perhaps the most fascinating way to look in the mirror is by sitting across from someone on the other side. I guess part of me sitting across someone who spent so many years angry at women, just because I want to do great in my career, I want to do these great things, that doesn't mean that you don't have to have that for you.
Well, I understand that now. But the problem is that a lot of these guys believe the propaganda that if women take over, men are going to be slaves.
No, when have you ever heard that propaganda, like men are going to be slaves? I've never heard that once until now from CNN. Right? That's a bunch of bull malarkey right there, man. That is just the only propaganda that I see here is this entire hit piece. That's the only propaganda. CNN is the purveyor of propaganda, and this is one of them. It just drives me nuts that they can't see that they're the ones who are doing this. Slaves, no, we don't. It's not part of it.
Not yet. I've learned that.
How are you doing now? You okay?
Well, I've still got a long way to go. There's still a lot more of deprogramming, I guess you could say.
Deprogramming? You mean reprogramming? What is this clown talking about? You mean reprogramming? I gotta be reprogrammed that women are special. That there are these special snowflakes. That, hey, it's okay to be a Schrodinger's feminist and she could be strong and empowered, but if I need to protect her or pay for her dinner, I'm gonna do it. Give me a break. This guy's deprogrammed my ass. Now I'm convinced that this guy's a plant. Okay? Because nobody could be that stupid.
We used to program the internet. Now the question, is it programming us?
CNN is.
All I'm offering is the truth.
That's it. Dude, and then you gotta love how they just end this. Oh my gosh. This entire segment was the silliest thing that I've seen in a long, long time. It was just... I don't even know what to say. But let's go into the comments and let's see what other people have to say, shall we? Okay, here we are in the comments section, and you can see the very first comment at the top that has over 3,000 likes. It says, if mainstream media are demonizing it, then I'll definitely check it out. It must have merit. Has 3,000 likes. Let's read another one. I've never encountered a red pill content creator being racist, quotation. And I am black as hell. Red pill has been definitely unifying amongst men of all races. Exactly. 718 likes. Okay, so yes. That's why I say it's not even about your skin color. It's about just getting to the truth, about everything. That's the last thing that we would be talking about, because that just doesn't have anything to do with the red pill. I mean, anybody of any color can go red pill. Doesn't matter. Right? Even women can go red pill. Jeez. All right, let's read another one. The fact that they felt compelled to have an interview, quotations, on this means that we are winning. Hold the line, brothers! Exclamation mark. 954 likes. This one, here's another one. Men restoring proper boundaries and standards is now considered radicalization. 247 likes. The dislike ratio and the comments give me faith in humanity again. 2,000 likes. Oh, here's a great one that got 7,000 likes. This red-pilled me even more. Thank you. Here's another one. The like to dislike ratio has spoken. Red pill is immune to propaganda. Here's another one. I don't care about putting women in their place, quotations. I simply want to protect my assets because sex is more dangerous for men. Walking away protects us from unwanted pregnancy and financial ruin over biological impulses. 1,200 likes. Here's another one. Red pill equals knowledge and self-improvement. Here's another one. Over the last 2 years, red pill has only taught me about more responsibility, self-care, and helped me overcome social anxiety. Here's another one with 3,300 likes. Apparently, when a guy has standards, that's an exercise in radicalization. Thanks, CNN. Here's another one. I'm so glad that everyone here sees this hit piece for what it is. Here's another one. It's hilarious that CNN keeps this video up. Even more so that the YouTube algorithm thought suggesting this to me would accomplish something other than making me laugh for 12 minutes straight. Thanks, YouTube. So, I mean, yeah, there are just a number of comments here. Oh, this is a good one also. This one has we'll read one more. This one has 2,900 likes, almost 3,000 likes. So, an ex-red pillar doesn't exist, guys. That would be like Neo giving up his knowledge of the Matrix and plugging himself back in as if nothing happened. That does not make sense. Has almost 3,000 likes. Here's another one. I love how afraid everyone is of people just being happy and understanding romance is just sort of not real. Oh, here's a good quote. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Here's another question that somebody has. Is this what a regular CNN report is like? Question mark. I didn't grow up here and never really watched the news on TV. This report is beyond insane. So there you go, gentlemen. That was CNN's brilliant story, brilliant deep dive into the red pill. This is what they came up with. Believe it or not, this is the malarkey that they published. And again, I don't even believe that guy was part of the red pill. I do believe he works for CNN just because they do stage things and they do stuff like that where they will, stage news stories and, as I showed you earlier, and spread fake news and fact check anybody who's not a Democrat, but they won't, they won't fact check themselves ever. I mean, yeah, it's just so crazy. But they want to keep the blue pill going. So be it. I'm just so glad most people are seeing through it. So, as always, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think or what you thought of tonight's hit piece on the red pill community. I know you're going to have a lot to say about it, so drop your comments below. Anything I might have missed, anything you'd like to add or share, drop them in the comments below. Also, don't forget to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash that notification bell as well. Smash all three. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, the Matrix algorithm. Helps me out a ton. And for you guys who want to support my work and all this red pill content that I'm teaching you, the best way to do that is if I'm adding value to your life, best way to support me is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, most beautiful looking women on the planet. Talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, baby. I teach you how to do that, and I teach you from a red pill perspective, right? And right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me. So take advantage of it. Just all you need to do is click the link below. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds, and I would appreciate it, right? And you gotta love how I end this red pill hit piece that CNN clearly despises the red pill, right? By promoting a red pill product. Gotta love it. Only in America, baby. Until next time.